allow us to invite Muhammad Najib bin Norbil for his prayer recitation.
Assalamualaikum and hi. Thank you so much to the moderator for the introduction. So let's start our dua with Umul Kitab Al-Fatihah. Wa ala alihi wa sahbihi ajma'in. Ya Allah, Ya Rahman, Ya Rahim. Sesungguhnya kami berhimpun pada hari ini untuk menyatakan kesyukuran di atas kurniaan yang tidak ternilai. Jadikanlah kami hamba-hambamu yang selalu bersyukur sama ada nikmat yang sedikit, lebih-lebih lagi nikmat yang melimpah ruah kepada kami. Ya Allah, Ya Rahman, Ya Rahim, Engkau berkatilah dan rahmatilah perjalanan majlis English webinar ini. Sesungguhnya Engkau Maha mengetahui bahawa kami di sini ingin menimba ilmu-Mu yang sangat luas untuk mengembangkan ilmu pengetahuan kami sebagai hamba-Mu yang Engkau ridhai. Berhimpun pada hari ini berkatilah dan rahmatilah perhimpunan kami ini yang tidak kurniakanlah kepada kami, jadikanlah kami hamba-hamba-Mu yang sinarilah hati-hati kami dengan cahaya dan hidayah-Mu. Lebih-lebih lagi semoga dengannya kami mudah menerima dan menghayati serta mengamalkan. Engkau berkatilah dan rahmatilah perjalanan majlis English kepada kami anggota kesehatan. Sesungguhnya Engkau Maha mengetahui ketenangan jiwa kami di sini dan semangat ilmu-Mu. Semoga dengan sangat luas kami mampu mendapati cabaran penyelesaian dan kami sebagai hamba-Mu yang diri, keluarga, masyarakat berkatilah dan rahmatilah perhimpunan kami ini. Kurniakanlah kepada kami ilmu-Mu, sinarilah hati-hati kami dengan cahaya dan hidayah-Mu. Semoga dengannya kami mudah menerima dan menghayati serta mengamalkan. Ya Zalzala wal Ikram, kurniakanlah jua kepada kami anggota kesehatan, kecerdasan minda, ketenangan jiwa, kekuatan semangat. Semoga dengannya kami mampu mendepani cabaran berdaya saing dan mampu
Thank you to Muhammad Najib bin Norbil. Next, I would like to invite the Deputy Head of the program, which is Priti Shahira binti Zulkarnain, for her speech.
Ketua program for this webinar. Today, we are presenting a workshop English webinar presented by Sir Joseph. Just a little housekeeping before we get started. For the people who are watching and hi through the YouTube live, if you have any questions, you can kindly type your questions. My name is Priti Shahira binti Zulkarnain, and I am the Timbalan Ketua for the participants or students in today. If you have any questions, you can also kindly type your questions by Sir Joseph. Just a little housekeeping before we get started. And the moderator for the me and the people who are watching.
Okay, sorry, ada error sedikit.
And hi, welcome everyone. Thank you so much for joining us today's webinar. My name is Priti Shahira binti Zulkarnain, and I am the Timbalan Ketua program for this webinar. Today, we are presenting a workshop English webinar presented by Sir comment section. And for the participants or students in Google Meet, if you have any questions, you can also kindly type your questions at the question box, which is the comment section. And the moderator or me and the Ketua program will bring up the questions during the presentation. But don't worry, there will be time for questions at the end of the session also. So without any further ado, I will turn time over to the moderator, which is Alisa, to introduce our presenter for today. And by the way, I hope all the participants will have a good time during this webinar and gain useful knowledge so that we can improve our English together. Thank you.
Okay, thank you to the Deputy Head of the program for his speech. Next, I'll be introducing our presenter for today, which is Mr. Joseph. He is currently teaching ELC in our own UAT MKK. He is a 54 grade PhD holder and has a master's degree in teaching English as a second or foreign language, or commonly known as TESOL. Now, I would like to invite Mr. Joseph to present his presentation.
Thank you very much for the introduction, but I think you got it wrong. I didn't have a PhD yet. I'm just in the midst of doing my PhD. So please understand that. Can you all hear me?
Yes, we can.
Yes,
Okay.
sir.
Good. Good. Uh, welcome everyone. Uh, um, my name is Joseph. I'll be meeting action. Okay, hopefully it is not one-sided. We hope you are able to be interactive as well. Okay. By asking questions or what not. Or you are majority of you are quiet and kind. Okay. Okay, as you go on, let's see the next question. The next question I asked is this: what is your hobby? Okay, so far nobody has. Yes. You can apply in your job as well. For example, in at the time of the interview. And the first part is the most important part is your what or how you're describing yourself. So to begin with, let me share my slides. Okay. Okay, how does okay, hopefully all of you can see the slide, yeah?
Yes, sir. We can.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so first and foremost, all of you are going to finish your studies. Okay, I think all of you are doing a diploma now, currently doing a diploma, and some of you have dreams to do your degree as well as masters, continuing to PhD. So, okay, whatever part you have completed and you want to go to the next stage of life would be to work, right? So before you start working, you need to have this particular document. Okay, so before we get this document, we want to know what is the purpose. Why do you think people like to work? All of you are studying to work one day, right? The reason why you need to work, the main reason would be money, right? And people say no money, no talk. You need to buy things. You need to have things in life. In order to have things, you need to have money or currency. Without the currency, you're not able to survive. Secondly, the reason why you have a job is you can have some pride. All this while, people consider you as a student. Now, when you have a job, you can be proud of your position. You can contribute, and people will look at you a bit different than before. And then the next reason might be a very interesting reason. Some of you want to work because you want to find a life partner, maybe. It's for love. So who knows? If those of you who have no girlfriends or boyfriends at the university, you want to get a job, and you want to get a job, you meet your life partner along the way. So that'd be something nice as well, right? But then again, we come to this CV or resume. In order for you to get a job, you need a CV or resume to apply first. So what is a CV? CV is curriculum vitae. Vitae is not vitae. Yeah? Then resume. Whichever term you use, you must make sure that you have this document so that when the person, the employer, the future employer sees this document, he or she will know that you have all these credentials that you have stated on the paper. So please understand, this CV or this resume does not get you the job. What's the purpose of this CV or resume? It is you to get the job interview. That's the main purpose. So first of all, before you get the job, you need to get a job interview. So before you get a job interview, you need to have a good resume or CV. So whether it's CV or resume, make sure you find out from the company when you're applying whether the company states CV or resume. So whatever they say, use that term. Do not say the company is asking for CV and you give resume. So that is one thing that you have to be careful about. So that shows that you are vigilant. That means you know what to write, what terminology to use. Secondly, you need to make sure that your CV or resume does not have grammatical errors. You need to make sure it is grammar free, because you're going to work in the company or the organization. So before you get a job, the person, the future employer, wants to know how prepared are you. If you have a lot of errors in your resume, that will put them off. And that is something that you have to be careful about. So another thing you have to consider, because you're not the only candidate for the job. There'll be many candidates. So you have to compete with these candidates. So in order for you to do better in your interview, in getting that opportunity to get the interview, you need to make sure that your CV is in the right order, and because the employer will only have around 5 to 7 seconds to read your resume. Okay, so that's why you do not have to write 2-3 pages of resume or CV. Make it short and simple and brief to the point, so that when the future employer sees your resume or CV, he or she will really understand about you and will know whether you are suitable for the job. So these are the two things why their future employer are looking for employees: because of your skills, experience. Secondly, will be your good personality. So these are the things, these characteristics of you. Before you get a job, you need to have these skills, experience, maybe work experience, and skills. What skill do you have? And a good personality. Of course, the employer doesn't want a person who's always emotional and just personality that's always quiet. I see many of you are very quiet. So maybe you need to change your personality a bit. Because when you say quiet, people are not, it's good to be quiet at times, but not all the time. Imagine if a person asks you a question, you're quiet and you answer them quietly. It is not really that effective in this current environment, in the work environment nowadays. So the vital information that you need in a resume will be your name, of course. So make sure your name is similar to the document that you have. Don't write a fancy name, then your document is different name. So it's something that is not, it won't be applicable in that interview, because they will be querying then. And next thing is give a profile statement or the word that describes you. And for example, just now I asked you what one word that can describe you. So none of you give me this. Yeah, are you a problem solver? Are you an innovator? Are you a mentor or a quick learner? Okay, so do you have all this ability? Okay, for example, innovator, you innovate. So you do not have to innovate new things. So it means innovator, for example, even doing this webinar, you are innovating things, how you're carrying out a workshop. So this is a skill. So you can use the word innovator for those who are organizing this particular webinar. So you can use this statement. So you can, this word, it can be a word or a statement in a form of a sentence. So I will show you later how to write that. Of course, you need to have contact details, email, and also social media account. If you have, please do give them as well. Okay, and also the experience. You also need to state the experience or skills. What experience do you have? Do you have any work experience? Do you have experience doing other things besides just studying doing university? So those will really add to your resume. So please, I'm telling you earlier now, whatever that you're doing now in your university, for example, even doing this workshop, please write down in a document, save it, so that in the future, when you are going for the job interview, you can state this, or I've got experience organizing webinars. Okay, so this will be an added essential item for your resume. Do not mention these things. So when you are writing your resume, you don't need to mention you are married or not. Are you married or single? Okay, normally employer doesn't ask this. Your date of birth, okay, you're not necessary to tell. And also religious affiliation. You don't have to mention your religion. unless they give you a form and write down all these particulars. Okay. So for any questions, can you follow? Okay.
Clear, sir.
Yes, sir. Clear.
Okay. Now we go straight to the point. We go to, okay, where are you going to write a resume? So how are you going to write a resume? So I'm going to give you some guide. Let me. Okay, make sure it's a one page. Do not make it more than one page. Proofread to avoid grammar and grammatical errors. Another thing that you have to understand is to be honest. Be honest about what you are doing. Do not tell a lie in the resume. For example, you don't have any experience and you state, I got work experience in this particular company. Do not lie in your resume or even in the interview. Another one is now, please maintain a document, like what I'm saying now. Maintain a document. Whatever activity that you're doing now, try to save in a file, Microsoft Word or in the cloud, Google Drive, so that you can type it or work experience on doing this project, experience this, so that you can put in your resume. Okay, now I'm going to stop sharing first. I'm going to share another document. Yeah. Okay, I'm going to give you a link in the chat group. So maybe you can have a hands-on experience. Okay, so this is the link for Google Docs. Okay. Now I'm going to share. So if you can check in the link in the chat group. So once you go to that link, you come to this section. Okay, so now you want to write a resume, right? So go to the docs. Now, just scroll down and you see there, view all templates. Okay, once you go there, you can see there is one part called resume. So this is one way, easy way for you to write your resume. Okay. If, for example, you want to use this Google Doc, maybe right there, you can edit this. Nurul Iza.
Yes.
No, I'm just typing your name.
Okay.
Okay, so can you describe yourself? Nurul Iza.
Yes, sir.
Can you describe yourself? Yeah, and the three words. In three words, like just now I said, motivator, innovator, or any other words you want to say?
Few words.
Okay, most of you say you're kind, right? Kind.
Yeah, kind.
Kind.
Hard worker.
Hardworking.
Okay.
Hardworking. and loyal. Okay, maybe you can use these three. And kind, hardworking, and loyal. Or you can add another one, innovative. So these are the resume. You can just write the word that I just mentioned in terms of your title. What title that you want to use to address yourself. So when the employer looks at it, your name, Nurul Izzah is a kind person, is hardworking, and also loyal. That means we need this kind of person in the company, of course, right? So then we have the section about experience. Okay, do you have work experience? Anybody? Nurul Izzah, do you have work experience?
No, sir.
Okay, no work experience. So what to do then? We have no experience. Okay, so
Experience in university. Can we put
pardon?
experience in university, joining any activities?
Yeah, obviously, yeah. Whatever activities that you have joined, you can state it in as an experience. So if you have no experience, okay, don't worry about it because you are a fresh graduate. Okay, fresh graduate, of course, the employer knows you are a fresh graduate. So for that, what experience is relevant to the job? Of course, your resume will change according to the job.
I'm sorry, sir. I have something. I think your slide is stuck. We cannot see what you were typing. Your
I'm
presentation.
showing the Google form, right? Can I still Google?
You only see the same thing. View all templates.
Huh?
You cannot see you typing the things you just talked about.
Maybe, sir, you should try stop presenting and presenting it again.
Okay, alright. Okay, I'll go there.
Sorry for the interruption, sir.
No problem. Thank you for informing. I didn't see that tab. Now?
Yes, we can see Nurul Izzah.
Okay, so we can see. So if you do not have a work experience, so you don't have to mention as work experience, just put experience. What experience do you have? So if you have applying for a job as a public relations officer, then what experience do you think is important? Of course, communication, right? You need to communicate with people, handling people, and this is one of the ways. So you are using Google Meet, right? So Nurul Izzah, what's your task? What are you doing now in this group?
As a technical assistant.
Assistant what? Assistant what?
Assistant. Actually, I don't have any duty in this webinar. I just help them if they need any help.
Sir, I know what her experience is.
What?
She organized the Malam Apresiasi DPAC.
Okay. Organizing chairperson. Okay, is it organizing chairperson?
Yeah.
Oh, okay, Malam. Okay, whatever name you put, Malam what? Malam Apresiasi. Okay. So, organizing chairperson. So, what is the detail about this? So, you must mention. So, if you're using Google Doc, this is what you have to mention. So, it's very easy. So, the next line is details about this particular task. So, maybe you can say, have experience handling team or people handling, or I think instead of putting the word handling sounds a bit harsh. Maybe you can say encouraging. Okay, and motivating people. In your case, it will be your organizing committee members. Committee to have what event is that? This is the an appreciation night to.
Yes, sir. Appreciation night for
You
the
can put the appreciation night for the students or lecturers or what?
Both.
Lecturers and students. So this will really be a good asset for your resume because you are talking about organizing. You're an organizing chairperson for Malam Apresiasi and you have experience. Okay, the spelling wrong, is it? Oh. Experience. So this is one thing when you're doing on Google, they will correct the spelling automatically. So, but then again, this is just a draft. Okay, I can refine this. So you need to refine. So once you have created this, so I'm not happy with this writing. So I will think about it. I will write again nicely so that it will look when the person, the future employer, the future person who's going to interview me, he looks at it. Oh, this will be my future employee. He or she will decide. Can you understand that? So this is just an example, right? So another thing I have to tell you is about your information. Here you have email. No? This one is the email. Make sure you give your email address. So there are many things that will happen if you do not give your good email address. First of all, make sure the email is a current email. Secondly, make sure the email is more or less sounds like your name. Okay, for example, nurul@gmail.com. Iza@gmail.com. Okay. Don't give Doraemon@gmail.com. And some people have this idea you want to give the email a glamorous email. That will not really be very good for the employer. When the employer looks at your resume and see what kind of email address is this. So we don't want to have that kind of idea. Okay. Okay, I'm going to show you an example of resume now. I'm going to stop sharing this.
So I have a question.
Yep.
So is it necessary for us to include our address, like house address, in the resume?
The address is an address where the future employer can communicate with you. If you do not give an address that the person that are going to employ you communicate with you, then it will be really futile, isn't it? It won't be meaningful because you want to give address. Of course, address is important. If you do not give address, then the employer, what will the employer do? For example, he wants to give you appointment letter. Of course, you say email. But then again, you also want to know where are you really staying. If you're not giving a address properly, like for example, you are staying in a rural area, then you can just tell you send to the main post box or what. How do you get the emails for now? How do you get your mails? So it is important for you to write the address.
Okay, thank you, sir.
Okay, so far so good, right? Now,
Yes, sir.
this part where I'm going to give you an example of writing the resume. I'll give it a sample now. Okay, so another way for you to write resume is I don't know how I will give you sample resume template so that you can also use it. But can I share in the chat group or not? I'm not sure. So I cannot share any files here, right? So maybe I can share using Google Drive later. I'll upload in Google Drive and share it. Hold on, I just. Okay, I'm going to show you a sample resume. You tell me whether you will employ this person or not. Okay. Let me share. It's not there.
Sir,
Yep.
there's a question.
Yeah. What's the question? Yeah.
Okay. Is it necessary to put reference on the resume?
Put what? Yeah.
References.
References. It is not really necessary. Not really necessary, but it will be good if it's not necessary if you do not have any references. But it will be an added advantage, especially if you have somebody related to that job. Okay, so he or she, it will be an added advantage, I would say. But then again, it is not necessary. All right. I mean, even for
Yes, sir.
even for my first job, I didn't put any references because when you are a fresh graduate, I don't think the employers will look at the references straight away because they want to know what is your qualification. So can you see this example of the this resume? Okay, of course.
Yes.
Okay, this one is England address. Okay, look at the email, Juliana Y. Juliana yourself. Okay, so would you accept this person when you're reading this? Okay, and just now I mentioned what just now you were using words to describe yourself. Now using in a sentence and a few words to describe, right? Approachable and a hardworking first-year undergraduate student with a positive attitude to work, seeking a part-time job, able to work for up to 18 hours per week, including weekends. So after reading this personal statement, do you think you will employ this person? Okay. Of course not, because first of all, there is a grammar error here. Okay. The person has made a grammar mistake. Okay. Statement. And of course, here you're saying that you are able to work. You're looking for a part-time job and you say you're able to work. So it's showing that you are the one who's going to decide. It's not the employer. So so this is one of the ways to understand. So you want to make sure it is friendly. When the person reads it, he will not say, "Oh, what is this?" She will like, she's controlling me. Even though you got a good degree, and maybe you got a 4 CGPA, but then again, when you write like this, people will not really employ you. Okay. So work experience. So look at this person. It says work experience, shop volunteer at high school. Volunteer 2 afternoons per week. So this is helpful. Okay, helpful in some sort of way, but it is really this might be helpful if she has expanded a bit. You say volunteer to 2 afternoons a week in a school shop selling stationeries, entertaining the customers, and know how to handle customers well. Okay, of course, that will be an added advantage when you're working part-time. You know how to treat customers. So those are the things, these phrases are important when you want to write a resume. Okay, so this is one example. Okay, now we go to another example. Yeah, I'm going to share the single.
Sir,
Yep.
sorry, sir, someone asked in the comment, is it necessary to put a picture in the resume?
Yeah, I'm going to share now.
Oh, okay.
Okay, now currently what's happening now, we are used to giving resumes with a picture, without picture, depending on the job itself. So, you can have picture or no picture. It's up to you. But what do you think? Do you think we should have a picture?
Should.
Because they're saying is a picture paints 1,000 words, right? So when a person looks at it will be really. So make sure your picture is pleasant. Picture that you show that yourself are smiling. Can you see this document here? Single page resume.
Yes, sir. We can see.
Okay. Okay. So this is your. Let's say the name is Faris Daniel. So you are from KK. Okay. So you can put a picture here. So here I want to put a personal statement. Approachable and passionate about impacting people with hands-on experience on communication skills. So this is something that all of you should have, especially when you are doing on public relations officer. So you can use this. Then if you act like this, an ardent advocate of David Ausubel's meaningful learning approach. When the employer reads like this, oh, wow, this person is really knowledgeable about stuff like this. Okay, so David Ausubel is a person who says that learning must be meaningful. So this shows that you are a person who reads a lot. To be able to work for an encouraging and stable company, and that will show that this particular part you don't have to write anymore because you already got the impact there. This is enough, more than enough, because you write more, the employer reads and will not be because they don't want to spend time reading the whole resume with 1 minute or 2 minutes. Okay, you understand that? So you don't have to write too long. Write it short, brief, and if you make sure you have the qualification given as well. So especially your name of the organization or institution. If you're done engineering, what's a diploma? Diploma in what? Diploma in admin, right? Administration, science.
Public administration.
Public administration. Okay, sorry. University Technology Mahara. So we can change this to Mahara. Then UIPM. Okay, CGPA. Okay, it depends on you. If you are a good student, you have scored well, you can write the CGPA. If you think you didn't do well, you need not write your CGPA. Okay, so this is just an option. If you want to this CGPA, if you put a very high CGPA 4 flat, then it shows you're a very good student. But then when it comes to interview, you're not really performing. Then they're query, how come you got 4 flat? You don't know how to speak. You understand? So if you got good grades, tell it so. Okay, so you can write your CGPA, but make sure it is it is relevant. It's relevant to your field. Does it affect when you write high CGPA? Okay, it affects or not? Maybe not. Depends on the employer. Okay, if you write a CGPA, it shows that you want to show off, doesn't it? Hello.
Yes, but so don't isn't like resume is like a place for you to show off like your skills and your achievements?
Obviously, you can show off, but you must show off in a very discreet way. Okay, so for example, you can show off. I'm experienced. I'm a diploma in public administration graduate from University of Technology Mara. Looking for this job, I have achieved this particular dean's list in the university and hoping to contribute my activities in this company. So you're putting it in that way, people will see it or something that's relevant. When you put it in numbers form like this, it will not be that presentable. Okay, it all works out if you, for example, this one, of course, it needs some refining as well, right? So work experience. Okay, work experience, all of us, all of you don't have any work experience. So in this sense, you don't have to put work, just put experience. What experience do you have? We have experience organizing this, experience doing this project. Okay, of course, you have so many subjects that you're doing. So this experience will be an added advantage for your resume. For example, you have a project for public administration. What are the projects you have done? No project.
Annual grad meeting.
Okay, AGM, huh? AGM. AGM, what is that? Experience AGM, attending AGM.
Organizing.
So organizing AGM. Yes, that will be something good. Organizing AGM. So that means you are the chairperson. So if you're the chairperson, so experience organizing AGM among the committee for what club is this? Administration club. Okay. For how many students? For 500 students. Okay. So in that, then that will be the heading. Then in that subheading would be I have experience solving many issues during the meeting and be able to settle it amicably to show that you are able to handle problems. So that is one of the reasons why you write experience, that name of the project. So for example, it's the handling of the meeting, because you want to show your character to that employer. So always think positive about yourself. Okay, do not think negative about yourselves, because you have something to contribute. That's the main reason you're applying for the job. Okay, I'm going to show you another template now.
Okay, sir.
Okay, it is more or less similar, but now you can see which one is more presentable, right?
Sorry, sir. So we have few questions from YouTube. Is it okay if I ask now?
Yeah, sure.
So the first question is, do you attach reference letter with CV or not? That's the first.
What letter is that?
I'm sorry.
What letter you're asking?
CV.
Yeah, you're saying attach what letter?
Reference letter.
Reference letter you do not attach. You need to attach.
Okay. And the second question is, can I know if colorful and icon in resume is better?
Okay, that's how I'm going to show you now. I'm going to show you an example. That's how I'm showing you a different type of resume. Okay, now I'm going to show you a colorful resume now.
Okay, thank you, sir.
Okay. Okay, now you can see similar name, Daniel Zulkifli. Okay, so now this statement is a bit different. Okay, so which one looks presentable?
This one.
This one looks more presentable, right? So yeah, it's all up to you. Which one do you want to use? Okay, so of course this one looks more systematic, more organized. But then again, you have details like marital status. Is it important?
No.
Yeah.
No.
So you don't have to mention this. Okay, this is not important. Then language known, yes, very important. Nationality, Bumi Putra Sabah. Is it right?
Malaysian, isn't it supposed to be Malaysian? No?
Okay, nationality, Malaysian, right? So these are things that the employees will look at, right? So when you give wrong information, then it will be reflecting on you. Am I going to employ this kind of employee? So the information that I need is not the right information. Okay, so hobbies, listening to music, singing, gardening. Okay, no problem. This is all correct. So LinkedIn. So this is also currently we need all this. Okay, well, what are things you can use? Maybe you can use LinkedIn. Okay, LinkedIn is the one that is used by many organizations to show where are you, which level are you. So once you start working, if you do not have LinkedIn, or people call it LinkedIn, I don't know which one, how they pronounce this. It is the employers, the people who are headhunting, the headhunters, especially for the top management posts, if you have experience and so on. So they look at LinkedIn particular details so that you can be employed. You don't have to go for interview straight away, because in LinkedIn have all the information, which is the latest job that you have held for that particular time and so on. Then the Facebook. Okay, Facebook, do you want to give the detail about Facebook? Okay, so it depends, isn't it? And if you have a lot of all naughty things in Facebook, something that is not relevant, then I don't think Facebook should be something that you should give. Okay, and Instagram as well, because you see all the photos about your friend having parties, going for karaoke. So you don't want to have that kind of things to show your boss, a future boss. So give, I think LinkedIn will do. Facebook, you can give if you have all proper things uploaded, things that are relevant for the organization. Okay, if they don't ask about this social media, do not give. Okay, now look at this person. Personal statement: to pursue my career in an organization with performance-oriented environment for achievement of personal advancement. Being ambitious and hardworking, I'm looking forward to challenging my potential and be worthy of management trust and confidence. Okay, so this is a very interesting way to write. So you are actually talking about what is you like to do to pursue my career in an organization with performance-oriented environment for achievement of personal achievement, advancement. Being ambitious and hardworking. I'm looking forward to challenging my potential and be worthy of management trust and confidence. So after reading this, do you think this future, it can be a future employee of this company?
Yes. Yes.
Yes.
Yes,
Very
because he looking forward, okay, with performance oriented. These are the words that the employer wants to hear. To pursue my career in organization with performance oriented. That means you are looking at the performance. Okay, so these are things that if you are able to do that, but then again, I feel you can define this statement as well. Okay. I'm a dedicated worker. I'm a hardworking worker who likes to pursue the career or organization where performance is being stressed. Okay, to make it sound better. So that's why this just a rough way of writing. So one of the best things you can do after writing your resume is to show somebody who knows about it and to check your grammar. Because if you once you have refined all that, when you have done your resume, that will be something you can carry for life. Only the first part is putting the effort. The first part is putting the effort how to write a good resume, and that resume it can be used for many kind of job in the future. So because your experience will increase, isn't it? The skills will increase. So you are having more information. So that's why I suggest for you going to those part 5 students who's going to graduate. So prepare a resume from now. Okay, prepare a resume now. Since you're in the university, you can give the resume check whether it's right or wrong. Even you can send to me. I can check for you if you want to, and that will really be helpful. Another thing that be helpful for a resume is the skills that you have. So skills, what kind of skills they are looking for? Yeah. For public relations officer, they do not need the software, language C, all this. Okay. But this will be helpful if you are in administration position, for example, administrative clerk, administrative officer, because you need to use computers. So this will be very useful, especially if you are handling the websites and so on. Then utility package, you have skills on your Microsoft Office and SPSS. So this, do you think you need to stress on this SPSS? You only stress when it's needed. For example, this company is an educational company who's doing research. Of course, you need to have this particular software knowledge. SPSS is a statistical package. Then skills on operating systems, Windows, I don't think it is that relevant, isn't it? Okay. So you want to mention, you can mention, it doesn't matter. Project work, study of employee information management stuff. So this can be something that you have done in the university. Okay, so it shows that this person doesn't have any work experience. He only has skills and his project work. So you can change the project work to experience. Okay, experience in project work. Okay, that will be better. And for the experience, the spelling error. Experience in what? Then you can say experience in heading project. Okay, so heading project. Maybe this is you're the head of the project, the heading project. Okay, so in your case, you'll be organizing the AGM, heading AGM meetings. Okay, so that'll be the experience, and you can have some details about it. If you have not much experience, so if you only have one experience, so that experience will tell something detailed about it. For example, heading project. So in your case, just now you mentioned about heading moderating webinar. Okay, if you're moderating webinar, you can say, so you can put the English webinar. All of the webinars you have moderated. One is English webinar, tomorrow is Moet. So this will be something that you can put in your resume English webinar. Then you can go detail. So have experience. Always get it wrong. Experience what? Troubleshooting. Let's say you have something wrong, you are able to experience troubleshooting problems during webinars. Okay, so especially when it comes to technical issues. So as a moderator, you have experience doing that. Okay, this of course, moderator, he moderates the whole webinar, but you are just giving an experience. So as a moderator, you also have experience. So able to moderate webinar smoothly. Okay. Okay. Manage okay, whatever I'm typing is just a draft, So I'm not saying that this is the best way. So after reading whatever that comes to my mind, I'm just typing it now. So let's see, moderating webinar, English webinar. Have experience troubleshooting problems during the webinar. Able to moderate webinars smoothly. Manage webinars using GM and YouTube Live. So which one do you think is the most relevant link to this idea of moderating webinar? Of course, this one, right? Okay, so this one is the most relevant because when you say having experience troubleshooting, okay, that sounds okay. But when the employer looks at the word trouble, and the problems, that means you're telling me your webinar got problems, is it? So they have this kind of negative perception. So I don't think I want to write this. You understand what I mean now? So first of all, you start writing. So whatever came to my mind, I just typed. After typing, I see, oh, this is not relevant. I don't think so. This will be good. So I'm going to use that last one only. You understand?
Yes. Keep
It's
your
Yes, sir.
resume positive.
Clear, sir.
always look at yourself positively, right? So that's the thing. So people want to see always positive things from the employee. Okay. So far, you have covered about the resume. Any questions?
So as you said, having colored resume will perform, not necessarily perform better, will look a bit better than like a normal black and white. So what is your thought on having icons, like, instead of writing LinkedIn, you put the icon of LinkedIn itself and then the name? Is it better, or is icon will be overlooked as not formal or unnecessary?
It's your creativity, because when you use the icon, I mean, you are creative enough to use that logo and you're saying that, oh, this is a LinkedIn ID. Okay, so it is your creativity that will really get you the job. So if you are, the only thing that the employer will look at is, are you different than others? You cannot be the same like others, isn't it? If you are the same like others, so what is the difference? So that if there's some difference in you and you are the only one using like icon, that's something different about you. So I'm not saying that's special or what. No, it's just your creativity. So you have this creativity to attract the employer, future employer. So go ahead. Okay, if you want to use icon, go ahead. So that is one part of creativity, I would say. It is not something that will hinder you from going to interview or what. It is just attracting the employer, because when you see the LinkedIn and you see the logo, automatically the mind will go to, oh, that's a LinkedIn profile, right? Isn't it so? So for example, when you see the word Facebook, you don't have to put the word Facebook. When you put the logo there, we already know that's Facebook.
Okay, thank you, sir.
Okay. So that's for the first part resume. No question, right? Any other questions?
There are 2 questions from YouTube.
Mm.
Okay. First question, what are the most commonly reasons why one's resume got rejected? Because of the resume itself and not the interview session? And what can be fixed?
Obviously, a resume is important. The first passport for you to get an interview. So what are the reasons why people reject your resume? First of all, it can be redundant. You are, like what I said just now, you look similar like other people. There's nothing special about you. Because the way you write the resume shows that you didn't show that something that the employer wants. Because you're using the resume to apply, for example, the job as a waiter, for a job as a public relation officer. So when you use like a same resume for that, of course, that will not really be effective. So your resume must cater to the job. That's why. So the main thing is make sure your resume caters to the job need. Is look for the vacancy. What is the requirement? And they say, for example, they need the skills like computer knowledge. So make sure you state the computer knowledge. So let's say if you do not have any computer knowledge, so I suggest what? Now you can do free computer courses online. You know? So that's how you create your skills. So, oh, I cannot, where is got free courses nowadays? You might ask. There are. So go to this website called Coursera, Coursera, Coursera. They provide free courses. Coursera, these courses come from famous universities as well. So you can, what are the skills needed for the job? So maybe you can look for that skills in this particular other places that you can get. So that will add things in your resume. So this is one of the things that is lacking in your resume. So first of all, be attractive. Okay, so just now you say colorful, attractive, right? So make it colorful. Don't be too gaudy, but do not write too much things in your resume. Too many words actually will really distract. It will not be something attractive. Go straight to the point. You're not writing an essay. You're writing something to catch the employer's eyes and the heart. Isn't it? Okay?
Okay, thank you, sir. And the second question is, if we have many experiences or achievements, do we need to put all of them or just choose the top achievements?
Okay, you have a lot of experiences, good for you, but then again, not all the experiences will be related to your work, for your future work. So that's why I think you need to cherry pick. You must choose which experience I can use in this particular resume. If you have a lot of experience, good, but the employer wants something that is relevant to the job. If you have experience singing and your job is doing computer work, of course, it is not relevant, right?
How much experiences do you think is like appropriate to put?
How many experience? How many kind of job? I cannot say, because one minimum at least one. And if you say how many minimum, there's no minimum, but then again, this experience will be increasing as the years pass. But since all of you are fresh graduates, I don't think so. You have experience, right? Right. So the only experience so is your project work, organizing this kind of webinars, organizing these meetings. So these are the things. So what is the most relevant experience that will be linked to the job? So it all depends on the link to the job. Is it something to do with computers? Then you put something for English webinar is linked to the computer, right? So this is something that you can put first. Then the second experience, you can put something that is talking about people, organizing something about people and meetings at hand, or how to monitor people. For example, you become the mentor for your friends, mentor, mentee, if they have that thing going on. So that will be something relevant as well, mentor, mentee. So those are the experiences. It will be helpful for you to write in your resume. So the thing is, you have that experience, but you don't know how to write. That's the main thing. So I think most of you have the experiences. Another one thing is you do not keep record. What are the things you have done in the university? That is a problem. I'm sure you have done so many activities. You have participated in whatever organization like NGOs and so on. You went for a visit to excursion to a company. You know about this particular way of running the system, the companies and so on. So you have lots of knowledge, but then again, you didn't manage to write it down or save it in a document. That's the main problem. So start recording that. That would be really helpful from now on. Recording whatever that you're doing. Even today, those who are participating in this webinar, you can write this as experience. I have exposed to, but do not write I'm preparing for resumes. So you just say I've experienced attending webinars where we learn so many things. So this one of the things you can put as part of the experience. We're able to ask question Q&A and able to get input as well, feedback and input, and know how to handle webinars as well because of this experience.
Very helpful, sir. Thank you.
Okay. Okay, that's a simple, brief, straight to the point about resume. I hope you are getting the picture of writing resumes. Now we come to the second part. Once your resume is successful, obviously the employer will call you for interview. So how do you prepare for interviews? Okay, first of all, this will be the most often an employer will ask you, tell me about yourself. Okay, so there are many people here. So let me see. If I ask, let's see who is the one lucky person here. We have Mr. Ishamuddin. Ishamuddin Lahab. Are you there?
So his line is very slow.
My gosh. Okay, can we have Masila Ahmad?
Yes, sir. Yes.
Yes, Masila, can you give me, tell me about yourself? Can you tell me about yourself?
My name is
Oh, wow. That's a feedback, man.
Okay. My name is Nashira binti Ahmad. I am from Kudat. Mm,
Okay. That's about it, huh? Thank you very much, Marcella. Okay, I don't want to put stress on you. Just want to tell you this will be a question that is often asked by employers. Okay, tell me about yourself. So the way you answer will either make the interviewers really listen or pretend to listen. So, for example, you just go on. I'm Juina or Julina Joseph or Julina Yusuf or whatever name you put. I am a graduate from University of Technology Mara, Sabah, and I have 3 siblings, and my father is a doctor. I come here to work for you, look for a job. Okay, that kind of answer will not really get you anywhere. So, what are the answers that the employers looking for? Okay. The thing is, the employers want to know what is important to you and what is your attitude towards the work that you're going to do, and are you fit for the job? These are the 3 reasons why they're asking you this kind of question. Tell me about yourself. So, what is important to you? Okay, so for example, I am Judwina or so and so, come from Kota Kinabalu, Sabah. I'm a graduate from UiTM Sabah with in public administration. I have experience doing a lot of volunteer job in this particular organization, so that I have experience leading people, helping people, and even organizing camps for this NGO, and that is really essential for me. And I want to show and share this experience in this company. Okay, so when you say like that, the employer will think twice. Why? He has some experience in NGOs. So then you will go detail. What kind of NGOs you're talking about? Then you can go detail. NGOs like what, any just hire home, or what NGO that you help and you're able to organize camp. So depending on what, if you do not have any work experience, I'm talking about. If you have experience work as a waiter, I've experienced working as a waiter, but is it something that relevant to the job? I've experienced working as a waiter. I don't think so that it will be something that's good, especially when the job is doing office work. But if you experience a waiter is related to hotel work. If you are going to apply for a job in a hotel, then the working skills as a waiter or waitress, that will be relevant. So of course you can mention that. So whatever experience that you have, make sure it's linked to the job application, and you can tell me about yourself. Okay, you understand? So how do you approach this question?
Yes.
First of all, of course you must greet. Okay, greeting. I'm just now you said. Of course, greeting is important. You can say good morning before 12 noon, good afternoon after 12 noon, and good evening after 4:30 p.m. So make sure you understand this. Next thing you need to do is smile. Be confident. Even though your heart is racing, is like beating so fast, show that you're confident by smiling. The moment you just smile, something happens, you're able to control your nervousness. Step 2, you need to thank them. Thank the person, the interviewer, for this opportunity to talk about myself. Okay, so always thank you for giving me the opportunity to talk about myself. I am so and so. I come from this. I have a diploma or degree in this, and I've experience doing this. So that is how you approach to answer this question. Tell me about yourself. Then the third step is, of course, you say your name, right? Of course, you say your name. My name is, or I am so and so, right? Do not say I am Mr. Okay, don't say Mr. Especially you are addressing yourself. And when you are talking to the person interviewer, you say yes, sir. If you're a lady, madam. Okay, madam is a very formal way to address the lady, whether she is married or not. You say yes, madam. Okay, understand? So that's how you address. So make sure you tell your name properly. If your name is, you have a long name, make sure you use a long name. My name is quite long, Joseph Arikinathan Aligirat. So it is like difficult to pronounce sometimes. So you can say, my name is Joseph Arikinathan Aligirat, but in short, people call me Joseph Raj. So to make it easier for the interviewer to call you. Okay, do not address yourself as Mr. or Miss. I'm Miss. Okay, why? It shows that you think of yourself highly than the interviewer. Why am I using this? Because there are people like that now. I've seen, no? Even among adults, they say, I'm Mr. Cool. They say, Mr. It's not that it doesn't happen, it happens. So you can say, I'm Johan, a hardworking diploma and public administration student, holder with some basic knowledge about management and policy making. Okay, sorry, I got the diploma wrong. Diploma in administrative public administration, right? With some basic knowledge about management and policy making. Okay, next thing is, what are your accomplishments? What are you proud of about yourself? Okay, there's some grammar error about yourself. Huh? They mentioned here. Okay, what are your accomplishments? So what have you succeeded so far? So you can say, along with this diploma, I have also completed a course in Microsoft Excel. I mean, this course is advanced course. So maybe you can go detail about this course. We are talking about interview, yeah? It's not writing. So you can tell whatever that is relevant to the job. Okay. Or along with this diploma in public administration, I also have completed other courses, short courses on Coursera, especially on Microsoft Excel, and also in public speaking skills. Then you can then say it was during this project that it is talking about this Opalent project. I discovered that I have inkling to use dashboard for Microsoft Excel. In addition, I have participated in MMGC. Again, those of you are familiar with MMGC, you can use this one. I have participated in MMGC or an affiliate to Toastmaster International. It is during this time I discovered that I have okay, not 10 player, but it's supposed to be team player. Okay, sorry about that. Yeah.
It's okay, sir.
Okay, so this is just example, and do not quote everything that I'm saying here, but I'm just giving you an idea what other things you can mention. But it is during this time I discovered that I am a team player and I know how to work as a team. And it is really interesting to have people to organize this kind of events, and I was able to meet people, different kinds of people during these meetings. So these are the things, accomplishments you have done. So whatever that you're saying now is something that's relevant to the job, because in a job, people want you to communicate, and you are doing it. and people want skills, especially computer skills. Computer skills is essential. If you have this, if you can talk about these two skills, then it will really give you something, a stepping stone towards the job. You will be able to be called in, even to do as a probation period, no? Probation period, so that you are able to offer the skills. But remember this: be enthusiastic. Don't sound very pompous. Like I handle a lot of things in the universities. I am the one who carried out the meetings. I was able to do it because I was able to. I have that strength. If you're talking about I, then it shows that you control. You're the person who controls smaller things. So you're not a team player. Don't boast. Don't boast that you have done similarly something that's beyond. For example, I've scored 4 CGPA, and I'm a Dean's List student, and I am favored by my lecturer. I always score good grades in all the subjects. So when you say all this, you're boasting about all the subjects, but sometimes this subject has it's not relevant to the job. So even though you got a Dean's List, it's good, but do not boast too much. Just tell it subtly. I'm a Dean's List student. I have this. I have experience. I have knowledge in whatever that I do. That it needs to put effort, and that effort has enabled me to do well in my university because I was chosen as a Dean's List student. Okay, so that doesn't sound like I'm boasting. So please do not boast. So if you say you're a Dean's List student, make sure you give proof. So if you say you have, I'm in charge of creating the website for the club, and I've done, I was able to make the website be subscribed by many of the students of UiTM. So that shows that you need to give proof. What is the proof? So maybe you can give link to the website. And even you can check now in the website, you can give whatever name of the website. So of course, when you talk about the experience, it's good to mention the recent experience. What is experience that you have? The recent experience that you have, so that the employer will know that is the experience you have. You cannot tell an experience of 10 years ago now, because it's 10 years gap. Okay, so what is the current experience that you have? That is one of the things that will really make your interview a good one, a successful one. Any questions?
I have a question, sir.
Yep.
Regarding on the working experience, my question is, how does if the company is find someone who can meet the customer satisfaction and deal with a customer, does it relevant to the waiter? Because waiter also meet a customer, deal a customer, give the maximum satisfaction. Does it cater with the organization needed as demanded?
Obviously, yeah, that's the thing. You're able to link, like, for example, you're talking about the customer satisfaction and being a waiter, right? Of course, you can relate to that satisfaction because you know how to make people happy. The people are satisfied, the customers are satisfied with your service. So, being a in order, so how you don't go straight away saying I was a waiter, because say I know customers are very important. And the customer satisfaction is very important for an organization, because with the experience of a waiter, I was able to know that providing good service is always important, and that service will be appreciated by the customer. So when you are saying that, then that will really give the impact, showing that the services that you provide is important. Even though you are a waiter, of course providing service. So you're not stressing on the word waiter, but the important thing is the customer satisfaction. With the experience that you have, you are able to satisfy the customer. So that is what you are able to focus on. It's not the job per se. You understand?
Yeah, thank you, sir. Appreciate it.
Okay, sorry, sir. Friendly reminder to all participants. Please fill in your attendance. Yeah, it's inside the comment box. Thank you.
That's it. Okay, another thing is, just now I asked you, right? One word to describe yourself. So you can use these words, positive words. So you can snap a picture or what. You can use this word. I'm a versatile person. Versatile means you are flexible. You can do whatever things. Whether you are in the office work or field work, in the sales line, or whatever. So you're versatile. Another one is determined. Determined. You're determined to do that. Hardworking, all of you know, hardworking or someone who loves working. Okay. Creative. Okay, this is what the organization are looking for: creative people. Creative, solution-oriented. Are you solution-oriented? That means you are able to find a solution for all the problems that you're facing now. You are solution-oriented because how you think? How can you say you are solution-oriented? For example, you say in university we have problems in doing online learning. I found a solution on how to make my internet better by changing the channel setting in the Wi-Fi. So by changing the setting, I'm able to have good internet connection. By the way, do you know that not? You can get good internet connection by changing your channel setting.
No, sir.
So yeah, these are the skills you know. Especially when you are doing when you are using Wi-Fi, unified Wi-Fi, you're able to change the setting online on the website using especially when your modem is TP-Link modem. You go to the TP-Link modem, then you're able to change the setting. And the reason why sometimes your internet connection is very slow is because your channel is being subscribed by many people in your area. That's why it might be slow. So if you change your channel, then the channel will be faster. Okay? You all understand?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes,
To prove my point, you can go to this your phone, smartphone. Yeah, you can download this app called Wi-Fi Analyzer. You can download this app called Wi-Fi Analyzer. Once you download the Wi-Fi Analyzer application, then you can check your Wi-Fi connection, whether it's fast or slow, and how many channels do you have. From there, you can see, oh, my channel is slow channel. Then only you can change the channel. So in order for you to do that, make sure you download the app and see how is your channel. Then another positive phrase or adjective would be open-minded person. Maybe you don't want people with close-minded. Who are close-minded, you are not able to talk about anything. Even talk about emotions, you get emotional. Talk about so what do you believe in? Or you want to be sensitive. You think your faith is much more higher. So don't be so sensitive. Be open-minded. Whatever you believe in, other things. Because at the end of the day, all of us believe in something. One creator. You cannot be really sensitive on people talk about religion. People talk about race. Okay, I think we are more used to whatever things that's happening around Malaysia. This will be a hot issue by politicians. For being in the workplace, people want to see your productiveness, whether you're effective, whether you're able to contribute to the job. So that's the one thing good about Singapore. Singapore, if you can see how Singapore is run, many people are doing well. The whole country is better off than Malaysia, right? Because how the system is, because politics is not something that will hinder. They're not like Malaysia. So next characteristic is easygoing. Are you easygoing person? You enjoy working with others? Okay, so these are all positive adjectives, positive phrases that will really give you a reflect you as a good person. A person is an asset, would be an asset for the job that you're applying for. Okay, then do you think you want to talk about the hobbies? Okay, obviously it depends on the interviewer. If the interviewer is talking about the you see when you're going for the interview, you're able to see the body language. You can see the surroundings. Sometimes you know this person likes to play computer games or what. So you can say you can relate to yourself. So for example, something that's very general would be this. Reading is something that will be applicable. I'm an avid reader, and daily practice has taught me lots of things about many issues. So I'm a keen runner, and this not only helps me keep fit, but also helps me network with other runners in the community. So what other hobbies? Just now I saw somebody playing guitar. I like to play guitar every day to release my tension. It is really helpful for me to calm myself and to be able to express my emotions by playing songs. So it would be something that is good if you are able to answer that way when the interviewer asks, what is your hobby? So try to make sure your answer is something that will be helpful for the organization. So you cannot say my hobby is sleeping, right? That would be a very bad answer. My hobby is eating. I like to eat all the junk food all the time. That will not really get you a job, right? That means the employees say, oh, every day you'll be going to KFC. What happened to the production? So you can say, I'm a health fanatic because I will always take care of my health and make sure that I do not eat a lot of meat, and I make sure everything is balanced, more vegetables in the meal. And now I'm starting with a new kind of diet called keto diet. So this is you're talking about hobbies, right? So you like to eat, you like to try something new. So when you are answering in this way, it sounds more interesting because when you say the word keto diet, something that's the word might not be familiar by some of the interviewers, so they'll be curious to know. So this is how you attract the interviewer as well, how you answer. But do not give a long answer. Make it short and brief, straight to the point, and be confident. So be confident is easily said than done. So how do you be confident? Smile. Smiling is how you can show that you're confident. And do not be stoic. Not stoic, that means without emotion. Some people, they have, the face looks like never smile, never laugh, just like that. So always have a smiling face. So starting from now, smile to yourself, smile in the screen. And when you have the smiling face, people, it's something pleasant to see, isn't it? A smile is pleasant. So this pleasantness will affect other people as well. So when you smile, even the interviewer will not be angry if you say something wrong. And compared to being stoic, and the stoic means you don't have any emotions to share, to express. Okay. Finally, the tips. Make sure you write down your introduction. Okay, why am I asking you to write down? Because your interview, once you send a resume and you got an interview appointment on that particular day, so make sure you write down. Obviously, they will ask you this question: tell me about yourself. Tell me something about yourself. Then you have to send. So how do you introduce yourself? So you include your top selling points for the position. This will vary from position to position. So take time to make changes. So that's why you cannot have the same kind of answer for every job. So you might need to change. So that's why you need to practice first the interviews part. Okay. what is the job about? Is it a public relations? Is it administrative position? Then you are able to cater to the answer. Tell me about yourself. If it is administrative position, I am a diploma holder from University of Jemara. I have experience organizing meetings and able to handle this number of students during that one webinar. We are able to have this particular event with 100 over students and are able to handle it well without any hitch. And that was compliments were given for that particular event by even the university. Okay, of course, when you say compliments are given, make sure you have proof. Give the letters of appreciation by UiTM also. Secondly, jot down and learn the key points. Don't memorize the entire thing because you might sound robotic. Yeah, do not memorize everything. So remember the keywords. What is more important is you are not speaking to memory, speaking to the person, the interviewer. Okay, don't worry about the grammar. When everyone makes mistakes, even I make mistakes when I speak, right? Because nobody is perfect, and you're speaking, it just what a word just come. But you know, once you have spoken, then you know it's a mistake. So I cannot say. So don't say I'm sorry. I'm sorry. And even though you know it's a mistake, don't say I'm sorry, because you just continue with whatever that you're saying. Okay. Next, finally, limit your introduction to about 1 minute. Do not talk too long, because your employer, your future employer, doesn't have the whole day for you. Okay, last but not least, be confident and maintain good eye contact with the interviewer. If there are multiple people in the room, address each one of them. Don't give your full answer. And only one person, ignoring the others in the room. So in this case, you need to know if your interviewers, there are 2 or 3 interviewers, make sure you have eye contact of the 3 of them from left to right. Okay. Finally, okay, this is not in the slide. Finally, do not be emotional when it comes to interview. Sometimes the interviewers will ask questions to make you angry personally, purposely. For example, once I attended the interview, they told me about this. They showed me, they told me, do you know that they were saying this, the normal understanding is, these Indians are like snake. We cannot trust them. They will bite you. What do you say to that? The interviewer asks. So that sounds very sensitive, isn't it? They're talking about the race, Indians. Indians are like a snake. And similarly, they say the Malays are lazy. When you say Malays are lazy, do you think you will get offended? No. Of course you get offended, right? So if you get offended, you're actually telling them it's true. Okay. So I cannot say angrily, how can you say that? So what to do? You must think rationally what to do. So what I did at that time was I just showed them my hand, and the hand. If you show your hand, you see the fingers. The fingers are different sizes, but in the same hand, right? Similarly, even though I can be in a particular race, but I am different like the finger. I'm not the same like all the fingers. So I'm different. I'm unique. So that is one way to answer. And you can see similarly in this group, all of you are different. You are special in your own way, regardless of your race, your background. Do not listen to people. Don't let people label you. Or you are lazy. You're always doing this. You are always addicted to this. So don't let people label you, because all of you are able to do great things. All of you are capable of doing great things. It's just a matter of doing it. So based on Dr. Who the person is, Mike Murdoch. Dr. Mike Murdoch, he says that one of the reasons why people fail is because they were undecided. You need to decide yourself who you are. That means you don't listen to people. Don't let people decide who you are. You decide yourself. So you are saying yourself, I am good. Even though you do not show that you're able to do well in this particular subject now, but you can do better. You have time to improve. So if you're not good, you can improve. So you say, I'm better, I'm getting better and better. That is one of the ways for you to overcome whatever shortcomings that you have. But do not be emotional, and do not show that you, when people ask sensitive questions, you get emotional and you worked up in it. When you get worked up, when you're emotional, that shows that you're very reactive. That means you react easily. So employers don't want people to employ people who are very reactive. And so you might react one day. When the boss scolds you, you might react. I resign. That kind of thing will happen. So that's why you need to handle the emotions well. So you need to expect what are things people can ask. So this is one of the things you need to prepare yourself well. To not to be offended or emotional when answering your questions, which are sensitive sometimes. Okay, any questions?
Oh, sir, we have Q&A session after this.
Okay. Okay, so I think that's about it. So in short, what I say is all the best to all of you.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah.
Thank you, sir.
Yes, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
You can stop presenting.
I thought you announced a Q&A session.
Oh, we have a slide for that.
Oh, yes.
Okay. So I have to stop sharing it.
Thank you, sir.
You're welcome.
For his presentation. Now we will have our Q&A session where all participants are allowed to ask questions that they have in mind. If there's no questions, we will be selecting random participants to answer our question, which is, what have you gained from this webinar session? Okay, so is there any question? You may open your mic and say.
Sir, I have a question, sir, about resume, sir.
Yes.
Some people have normalized this kind of habit of putting salary expectation or salary requirement in their resume. So, is it necessary for us to put salary requirement in our resume, sir?
That's a big no-no. You cannot write your salary expectation in your resume, namely because maybe the salary expectation is lower than the salary offered by the company. Another thing is the salary might be lower than the expectation of your resume or higher, either way. So that's one reason. Second reason is when you have a salary expectation, that means you expect the company for something, right? So the company wants a person to contribute to the company, not a person coming for the money. It's not about the money, first of all. It's about contributing yourself. Okay, so that comes to the question is how much salary do you expect? You know, that kind of question is
So do you think, how can you answer that kind of question? How much salary do you expect? Okay, so it depends on your research. Of course, you cannot put very high and you cannot put very low. So you must know the range. So, but unfortunately, what's happening now, they're saying the graduates' pay would be 1,500 ringgit. Is it very high? So they're saying it's going down. The pay is going, so that is
low, sir.
so that will affect your job salary, isn't it? So when, how much salary you're expecting? So you cannot say 1,008. So you can say 1,000. I think around 1,000 to 1,000. Okay, 1,000, 1,005. So of course you can say it confidently if you have surveyed on Google, surveyed among the employee, among in the company. Of course, nowadays you have Dr. Google there, right? You can know so many things. But when it comes to salary, you must survey, because we don't want to ask for something very low. We want to go to the same range as the other people are earning. Okay, so that's how you approach this.
Noted, sir. Thanks, sir.
Welcome.
Is there any other question from participants?
So I have a question.
Yes, Myra.
So how do you respond when you are interviewing and the interviewer is asking you a question that you don't have an answer? Let's say they are asking about like current issues and you cannot pick any current issue in your mind. How do you respond to it? Do you say I don't know, or is there any like template of response?
Okay, so the best way to answer is being honest. You cannot simply lie your way through. If you do not know the answer, for example, what is the latest thing that's happening in the aviation industry, and you do not know what is the word aviation means, so you can, one of the things you can do is you clarify. I'm sorry, I'm not really familiar with the term aviation. Can you explain about this? So that will show that if you do not know, you are asking, right? That is one character. The main thing about the employer, they want to see your character. Are you telling the truth or are you lying? Because when you lie, they will know. Because you don't know about the answer, isn't it? So if you do not know the answer, you can say politely, I'm sorry, sir, but I'm not really familiar with this particular job. So even when I attended the interview for UiTM to be a lecturer, you know, they asked me, one of the interviewers is, I think, Professor, our Vice Chancellor. He asked me, have you read this book? He gave me one title of the book, and I've never read the book. Then I have to be honest. I'm sorry, I've never read this book. I don't know what is the book about. So it's good to be honest. Then kick your way through, isn't it? So it is better to be honest. Honesty is the best policy.
True, sir. So and also do we have to prepare questions, especially during interviews? Before the end of the session, they'll ask like, if you have questions, do we have to ask questions, or is it okay for us to say like, no, I don't have any questions?
So it depends on you. If you are really curious to know, so you can say, when can I start? That would be a good question to ask, isn't it? So to show that whether they could employ you or not. So when can I start will be a good question to ask. But do not ask too many questions that will implicate something that's not to the job. For example, what time should I arrive to work? Or those are things you can know later. But when, how long does it take for me to know you're gonna notify me to get this job, because I had to prepare so many in advance? That kind of question you can ask. So what are the relevant questions as an interviewee asks is something to do with the time. When can you start work? Secondly, you can ask about how long does it take for the organization to inform the interviewee that he or she gets the job or didn't get the job. Okay, either way. So at least you know that you didn't get the job. So you can look for another company.
Okay, thank you, sir.
Okay.
Okay, since I noticed that there's not much questions, I will proceed by selecting random participants to tell us what have they gained from this webinar session. So the first participant is Muhammad Idlan.
Hello.
Hello. Okay, so tell me what have you gained from this webinar session?
All right. First of all, my name is Muhammad Idlan. Okay. From this section, I learned about how to make a resume properly. In terms of, we use the resume to not to have the job, but it's just to make an interview with the employers and how to answer the what we call uncomfortable question. For example, like Sir Joseph say, when someone say about refuse, the five fingers, is it like that? I think that is a good example for us. Sir, thank you for sharing the experience.
Yeah,
Alright.
you're welcome. You're welcome.
All right. Yeah, I think that is a good experience for me. And okay, that's all. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Next, the next participant will be Siti Munira. Hello. I think she's not here. It's okay. I will proceed with the third one. Mukris Hakim Hamizan. Hello. Okay, then I think we can stop the Q&A session. And I invite everyone to open your camera and we take a photo together. Can all participants open your camera?
So I'll be taking the picture. So if anyone wants to open the camera, can open. And first we'll do like a formal smile, and then we'll do the candid and the cutesy one. Okay, so is everyone ready? Okay. You got your best look. Okay. Put on your brightest smile, and I'll take the picture. Okay, so 1, 2, 3. Okay, wait a minute. Let me check if everyone is all cute. Oh, okay. So everyone, okay, so we'll take another one. You can do pose or like peace or whatever it is. Okay, so everyone smile. 1, 2, 3. Okay. Thank you, everyone.
Before you go in the chat group, I already given the link for the file, resume file. So a template. You can download the file and you can save it in your desktop. Okay, so you can download it.
Thank you, sir.
Okay. All the
Want
best.
to boomerang, please, smile.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, everyone. Thank you, sir. Thank you, Joseph. You're the best.
Thank you, sir.
Thank
you,
With that, we will be ending our session for today. Thank you to Mr. Joseph and all participants for joining and spending your time with us. We hope that everyone gained or learned something useful from this webinar that we have organized. Thank you and stay safe. You may leave the Google Meet now.
Thank you,
Thank you,
everyone.
everyone. Don't forget to
Thank
tune
you.
in tomorrow's
Bye.
event.
Thank you for arriving.
Welcome, sir.
Hmm.
Bye. Bye, everyone.
Bye.
Bye.
Thank you,
Bye.
Mukri.
Bye,
Thank you,
everyone.
Akmal.
Thank you, Me. Thank you, sir.
Thank you,
Thank you semua.
everyone.
Bye.